Hello everyone, and welcome to my GH Soap Opera Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers: Willow threatens Alexis, willing to harm Danny and Scout to get her way. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Willow Kane threatens Alexis Davis's grandson, Danny Morgan, as her next desperate move. During the week of February 2nd to 6th, GH spoilers suggest that Willow asks Alexis to help her get back her kids, Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos. But will Alexis want to rep the Widowmaker again, knowing what she knows? Alexis and Willow clash. Willow is allowing Scout Quartermain stay with Alexis and insinuates that unless she obtains custody of Amelia and Wiley, she'll keep Scout from Danny. This would be awful for the siblings, and Alexis knows that. But Willow is empowered after putting Drew Kane into a stroke and locked-in syndrome. Will she indicate that if she doesn't get her kids, Alexis won't see Danny and Scout reunite? She is capable of anything after all. Willow is still desperate. Alexis doesn't want any part of Willow's games, but Willow knows that Danny violated the restraining order with Scout recently and would have no issues reminding Alexis of this. Basically, no one will win if it's found that Danny and Scout saw each other. Willow knows she has the power and is ready to utilize it. Alexis is a good granny, and we forecast that she wants to make sure neither Scout nor Danny will suffer any more. Willow plays hardball in order to do Willow's bidding. Alexis could be compelled to beg Michael Corinthos for a compromise. But how will Michael respond if he learns that Danny and Scout's destiny is in his hands? He is a hot wire on a good day, and right now he is also feeling powerful. Tell us, GH lovers, how long do you think Willow will be able to control as she's been doing? Or will she stoop to more syringe shenanigans to get her way? As a nurse, she has an infinite supply of medications available to her and not scared to use them. Spicy General Hospital spoilers point to Willow continuing on the warpath with Alexis and Michael her prime targets. We will have all the juicy details for you right here. General Hospital spoilers: Faison joins his children in returning from the grave? General Hospital spoilers reveal Caesar Faison lives on in the memory of the family he tortured for decades. None of them appear to wish to recreate any of their traumas encountered while he was in their lives, least of all Anna Devane. But we had a peek of Anna this week as her cage went black and someone who looked a whole lot like Faison from behind entered it, ready to wreck her world, and her mental health. This has fans in a tizzy wondering if Faison really is returned, or if this is yet another manifestation of whatever type of brain-warping WSB director Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell have employed on Anna. What do you think? Is Faison back, or has Anna been hacked? Britt, Nathan, and Peter bring things full circle. Britt Westbourne coming back from the dead was enough of a shock, but it's been more or less totally embraced by the fanbase who want to see Jason Morgan happy. Nathan West coming too sent shockwaves through the fanbase, but once again, it was a welcomed re-entry into Port Charles society and our universe. Peter August's return would be a different tale. The fans seem pretty split, with some thinking Anna's vision of him teasing her in her dorm-like jail is all fiction, while others are praying he's returned to pick up where he left off. GH spoilers say Anna isn't Anna either. The longer Anna is held in this physical holding pattern, the more she seems to lose bits and pieces of herself as well. What's most remarkable is that she seems to have enough self-awareness remaining to know that she's kind of losing her marbles. She doesn't want it to happen, but she knows better than anyone how a psyop works. She understands what machinations Caesar's mind can come up with to slowly twist her into the woman he wants her to be, which is a woman who desires him. When she was first captured and heard Caesar's voice over the speaker, he told her she should prepare to live another life. Is he just honoring his promise? General Hospital spoilers: a solo Faison reboot isn't nearly as fun. Had Faison returned all by his lonesome, it wouldn't have had nearly the same attraction. Don't forget that all the way back in 2018, Caesar came back into the scene just in time to take Nathan away from us, however accidentally. By that time, the plot had become more about his children than him, and while Nathan was gone, Peter and Britt's storylines grew in the wake of his death. That makes his reappearance amongst all of his children all the more intriguing. Has Britt and Nathan not returned from the great beyond, it wouldn't be nearly as pleased to think about Caesar delivering his last session of torment on Anna, especially if it's Peter running all of this behind the scenes with him. As fans beg General Hospital to unleash the real Alexis, you'll never believe who's coming to Willow's defense. Remember when General Hospital's Willow was bit of a wallflower? Well, those days are certainly gone as the increasingly manic mom displays herself a skilled manipulator willing to do everything if it meant recovering custody of her kids. But more than a few viewers were startled when Willow blackmailed Alexis by threatening to restrict her from spending time with grandson Scout. In fact, many swarmed social media to urge that it's time for Alexis to realize who she is, or at least once was. For those who might not remember, Alexis' birth name is Princess Natasha Alexandra Mikasonova Kassadine. And there was a time when the attorney had absolutely no trouble heading to the dark side once occupied by her notorious father, Mikos Kassadine. As many have commented on social media, Natasha wouldn't put up with the garbage Willow's dishing out of late. While Willow's portrayer, Caitlin McMullen, stated she's loving getting an opportunity to explore her alter ego's dark side, she also knows eventually, this is all going to come back to bite her. Meanwhile, although Carly would probably love nothing more than to see Michael's ex run out of town, portrayer Laura Wright definitely wouldn't agree. "I love that we get to tell fun stories that have characters who are flawed," she said during our recent chat. "I get wanting to wring the neck of a character," she said, "but that's what we love about our flawed characters." That said, viewers still want to see a showdown between Dark Willow and Natasha. As Who Knows TV said on X, Natasha should look straight in Willow's eyes and say, "Girl, you have the nerve to blackmail the daughter of Mikos Kassadine?" Spoilers. Will Lulu fight her feelings for Nathan, or fight Maxie for him? General Hospital spoilers claim Lulu Spencer has already taken things too far with Nathan West. Kissing her best friend's husband as she lay in a coma was the last thing on Lulu's bucket list this year, but leave it to Nathan to be too much of a wonderful person precisely when Lulu was feeling lonely and vulnerable. There won't be an excuse good enough in the world to make this okay with Maxie Jones. Not that she ever has to know, but we all know how that always ends up working out. Something tells me this is not the end of Lulu and Nathan, but rather, just the beginning. The boundary lines are blurred. It should be common sense that even if your best has moved on with someone else because she thought her husband was dead, once you find out he isn't dead, you don't just move in on that territory before said bestie has a chance to decide whether she still wants the guy. Moreover, female code takes things a step further. Most of the time, you don't go in on that territory even if your bestie doesn't want her spouse anymore. This is uncharted terrain for Lulu, and not everyone loves it. Spoilers tease everyone is expecting Maxie to be torn. Damian Spinelli is waiting on bended knee for Maxie to wake up and turn his world right side up again. Because of how disturbed he is that the love of Maxie's life is returned from the dead, he is expecting her to feel she has unfinished business with Nathan when she wakes up and finds out he is alive. So while the whole fandom braces for Maxie to be torn over which man she wants to be with, few have considered that Nathan might not be as eager to plunge back into his marriage with Maxie as we previously thought. Nothing may ever be normal again. It took being stuck in one snowstorm with a bottle of vodka and a deck of cards with Lulu for Nathan to decide he wanted to be the guy she sees in him. What's that? He just forgot all about his wife? The one he never knew he wasn't with for the last 7 years? Yeah, that one. It's become quite evident that something is destined to blow up in Lulu's face with this arrangement, because it seems like Nathan isn't actually Nathan. Whether he's an imposter or a clone or some sort remains to be seen. But should that come out, it won't reverse the damage that is done by Lulu having gone there with Maxie's spouse at a time when she totally believed that's who he was. General Hospital spoilers. Does Steve Burton have a no-sex clause agreement on the show? General Hospital spoilers suggest that a lot of fans can't help but notice that there has been a shift in Steve Burton, both on screen and off. But it's not as horrible as you would expect. Does Steve Burton have a no-sex clause agreement on the show? That's because there's considerable conjecture claiming that the actor, who is best known for his role as Jason Morgan on the hit ABC soap, might have changed his mind when it comes to hot sex scenes on the show. In other words, there's a very good probability that he might have a new no-sex clause agreement with General Hospital out of respect for his new wife, Michelle Lundberg. After all, it's not easy witnessing your new husband make out with a beautiful soap opera actress while they are in front of the cameras, right? Well, that could be the case with Steve, as many fans have noted that he's been keeping his distance from his female co-stars, and especially with Kelly Thibaud, who plays Britt Westbourne. It was recently revealed that Jason rescued Britt from drowning in frigid water, but it all happened off-screen. If that weren't enough, Jason and Britt also got extremely busy between the sheets, but fans didn't get to watch that moment in action either. What's next for Jason Morgan? That's why a lot of people are questioning why there's so much backstory about Britt and Jason, but no one is seeing any of it actually happen. And while Britt and Jason had shared a kiss, it wasn't really heated or intense. In fact, it felt like a nothing burger, so to speak. Now, whether or not this kind of clause exists, no one really knows, but Steve Burton himself has not made any statements about the topic just yet. However, at this time it's doubtful that he will, but that won't stop fans from paying attention to his each and every action on the canvas. Emma panics, Britt desperate, Turner sweet talks Sunny. Emma Scorpio Drake reaches out to Felicia Scorpio while Britt Westbourne is frantic. Plus, acting district attorney Justine Turner looks to be sweet-talking Sunny Corinthos. Emma reaches out to Felicia at General Hospital. Emma reaches out to Felicia after getting an important Calais policeman in a tiny town in France called her and reported Anna Devane flagged down a car. She provided a story that she had been kept captive in France and escaped, and communicated the knowledge that Cesar Faison is alive. The question is, was she relocated from Windermere to France, considering Pascal claimed to be in France? Emma is in tears as she reveals to a very frightened Felicia, it's Grandman she's in trouble. Felicia looks like she's about to weep too. Diane is suspicious in the offices of Miller and Davis. Diane Miller is talking to Michael Corinthos. She tells him that Ada Turner just delivered them a tremendous gift. However, Diane will be skeptical of something. Perhaps this massive gift sounds too good to be true. Even though Rick Lansing is handling Michael's visitation hearing which will lead to a custody hearing, there's still Michael being a person of interest in Drew Kane's shooting to manage. What would Diane be talking about, and is that the same thing she'll be wary of? Jason is torn in the meantime. Jason Morgan is torn. He's chatting to Dante Falconeri. One thing he will talk to him about is the information that he received from Emma getting the call from France while he was there at the Courtemain mansion. He'll tell him that Anna said Faison is alive, and Dante tells him he'll need someone he knows and trusts to lead him back from that. Will Jason inform him about Britt's condition as well, or solely about Anna? If he tells him what Britt told him about Jen Sidwell killing Henry Dalton, then he might save Sunny and Laura Collins, but he'll compromise Britt. Britt is desperate in the meantime. Britt is desperate. She returned to her room at Bobby's to find that her medicine was missing. She's stressing out as she tells someone, I said I would do the work, and I'm doing it. But who would she be talking to? Pascal, Sidwell, or possibly Ross Cullum? While she spent she thought secretly the night with Jason at an ancient harbormaster's cabin near Port Charles, evidently someone's been in her chamber. Jason had proposed reverse engineering her drug, but he swore that he wouldn't take her dose at that time. Who might have taken it, and who is she talking to? Turner sweet-talks Sunny elsewhere. Turner looks to be sweet-talking Sunny, as she gets extremely up close and personal, right up in his face. She smiles as she assures him anything's possible, but don't hold your breath. No doubt she's talking to him about Michael's interrogation, which is why he was talking to Diane. Who's fooling who in this flirtation between Sunny and Turner? Are the two on even playing ground or not? General Hospital stars band together to help one of their own facing terminal cancer. Soap opera stars have always been a shining example of banding together to aid those in need, and now a number of General Hospital's cast have reached out to their followers to spread the word to support one of their own. Caitlin McMullen, Rory Gibson and Chris McKenna, to name a few, have shared stories on their official Instagrams to direct fans to a GoFundMe page to please help Fianna. Fianna Smith, a hairstylist for the ABC soap, was diagnosed with terminal stage 4 pulmonary cancer 5 months ago and is undergoing treatment aimed at extending her life. As recounted on the website, this unanticipated turn began with what first presented as pneumonia, which evolved into pleurisy and was accompanied by extreme discomfort and repeated fluid buildup in her lungs. Though hospitalized many times, subsequent testing ultimately provided a cancer diagnosis. Working on General Hospital has been one of the greatest blessings of her career, and has fulfilled a lifelong dream of being on a studio lot daily with a consistent cast and crew. In 2025, she had been nominated along with her peers for a Daytime Emmy in the category of Outstanding Hairstyling and Makeup. Today, Fianna approaches life with deep gratitude and perspective. Her primary priority is spending meaningful time with her daughter, who is now an adult and learning to become an airline pilot. Fianna speaks frankly about faith, resilience, and the necessity of presence, love and purpose in the face of uncertainty. Susan Lucci breaks her silence on a possible GH and Erica Kane crossover. Lucci made it clear she would not return for a cameo, but indicated she would listen if there were actual work involved. All My Children's Jackson Montgomery arrived up in Port Charles in 2023, entering a General Hospital narrative as if he always belonged there. That kind of appearance tends to leave a door cracked, even when the scenario moves on. So when Erica Kane's name surfaced periodically, it didn't feel like a stretch or a prank, but rather something viewers had already been half expecting because of ABC's shared soap universe. Susan Lucci, Kane's portrayer on AMC, recently revealed that it was a question she'd already asked herself and hadn't totally laid aside. Key takeaways: Susan Lucci stated she has already considered the notion of Erica Kane starring on GH. She claimed she would not want to do a cameo but would be open to hearing if requested. She underlined that any appearance would depend on whether there was significant labor involved. She described work at this time of her life as a choice rather than a duty. Lucci connected her openness to greater candor following personal loss and life upheavals. Erica Kane in Port Charles? Lucci spoke to Woman's World while promoting her new memoir, and the topic veered, as it often seems to, toward what still lingered. When the question of GH came up, she didn't dress the answer up or brush it away. "I wouldn't want to do a cameo," she remarked, and then stopped long enough for the term to sink before adding, "but I would certainly listen if they call." That distinction mattered. It wasn't about making a fast appearance or chasing a moment. It was about if there was real work waiting on the other side of it. She talked through the practical stuff, family, distance, what that type of commitment would truly mean now, and she did it without drawing a hard line either way. What was evident was that she had never thought of Erica Kane as a novelty. The character had always been about momentum and control, about walking into rooms with intent and not apologizing for it afterward. Dropping her into Port Charles would only make sense if that energy stayed intact. Why the timing felt different. Lucci had been frank about how much had happened since her last memoir, including the loss of her spouse and the arduous process of finding her footing again. "I felt like half a person," she recalled of that moment, reflecting how far removed the idea of acting once appeared. Her honesty continued as she further revealed that work for her today is a choice, not an obligation. She also spoke about being less guarded over time, about allowing people see more of who she actually was rather than the gloss they expected. "I'm super proud of my candor," she remarked, and it didn't seem like branding. It sounded deserved. That honesty was what made her answer regarding GH feel true. If Erica Kane ever walked into Port Charles, it wouldn't be because the past called loudly enough. It would be because the present provided her a reason to answer. Chase talked to Brooklyn about his snow plans when Gio and Emma came home. Chase was talking with Brooklyn Quartermain his plans to enjoy the snow with Wiley and Leo Quartermain. Just then, Gio Palmieri and Emma interrupted to ask how upset Tracy Quartermain was with them. Brooklyn hadn't seen Tracy all night and grew frightened when she couldn't reach her grandma by phone. Gio felt Tracy might have gone to Drew's to rescue the Quartermain treasures and stated they were supposed to help but was caught inside due to the storm. As Brooklyn concerned about Tracy, Chase contacted and confirmed that Tracy's car wasn't in any accidents. Tracy returned home just then. Tracy entered moaning, and everyone gave her a large group hug. Tracy stated she was stuck with Martin Gray, but they worked things out. They nervously wondered what she did to Martin, but she claimed she only got him to pack their items into her car. Brooklyn noticed the decanter she held and Tracy said it was symbolic. Chase scolded Tracy for going to Drew's without checking with Willow first, but Emma argued that you don't need a thief's permission to reclaim what's yours, and Gio reminded him that Drew left while Ned Quartermain was having a heart attack. Chase observed that Gio sounded like a true Quartermain and advised Tracy that while he wasn't backing Drew, putting matters into her own hands was perilous. Emma got a call about Anna. Tracy pointed out that Drew's lawyer was present and didn't object, so Chase relented. Just then, Jason strolled in. Brooklyn told him that Danny Morgan, Rocco Falconeri, and Charlotte Cassadine were at the gatehouse during the storm. When Jason didn't see an issue with it, Chase pointed out that not knowing where your child was in a snowfall didn't look good. Jason gave him a look, but then Emma received a call regarding Anna and informed everyone that her grandmother was discovered in a little town in France. She flagged down a car on a remote road, claimed she was a prisoner, and escaped. She said she also cautioned that Caesar Faison is alive. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel without missing any update.